Welcome, gentle gamers. I may have lost count. I believe this is episode 3 of the Crimson Vow experience with MTG Greybeard. So, I'm going to move on to the premiere draft, having had my clock cleaned in a sealed deck event, where I really should have gone with the red-black vampire archetype, but I built around the white-black archetype with Kaya, who I didn't really understand. Didn't really have any token synergies in my deck. I read the card too hastily. And I didn't really have the life gain synergy one would want in a white black. Should really have made a red black blood tokens matter deck. I had that Falcon Wrath Noble Vampire, which was my rare and really the only good Hamlet Vanguard, Diver Scab, or Rending Flame. I like the direct damage thing. Oh, but I really want to play an exploit kind of a deck. So I think I'm going to just pick the Diver Scab. Hit me in the comments if you think that was a mistake and I should have gone with the green rare. But I do want to try Diver Scab. I can exploit a creature and then just draw it again. We'll see if that's good or not. This pulls me into the blue-black exploit archetype. Will I have enough sackable creatures? Well, there's a rare double land. Couple uncommons that are outside of my purview. Well, here's another exploit dude. Undying Malice. Pointed Discussion. Binding Geist. I like the way that happens every time Binding Geist attacks. That might be better than the Stitch Assistant. Well, whenever they exploit a creature, you draw a card. That's a good effect. I think I might like Binding Geist better. Oh, or do I want the exploit synergies? I'll go with Binding Geist. I think that sounds gnarly. I'm not yet playing with any of that Arena Tutor sort of software. I'm just gonna try and have a pure experience of the set. I find that software often kind of gets in the way, and sometimes it's glitching out and I can't move it out of the way. Now, I really like Graph Reaver here. Creature Zombie Warrior. My blue-black deck is going to be zombie themed, exploit themed. Hopefully I get some exploit synergies going on. This guy can destroy a planeswalker, which is awesome. There's some dangerous planeswalkers if I go in against Sorin the Mirthless, for example. Leave me a comment if you disagree with my contention that Sorin the Mirthless is punning on Sorin the Merciless. They do love their puns. Vampire's Vengeance. There's a nice sweeper for vampires. Wouldn't be too late to go in a vampiric direction here. Repository Scab is a pretty cool effect for my deck. So the Repository Scab will return an instant or sorcery. Need to get some good like bounce or removal combat tricks. Some good instants and sorceries to add to this deck, but that suits the exploity zombie kind of a theme. I look forward to making a zombie deck in Standard, just to play around with at least, that incorporates cards from the Midnight Hunt set, which I have a complete playset of, having done so much drafting. Magma Pummeler. Maybe I should have been in red. That's only an uncommon. So do I want Fear of Death? Do I want Dreadlight Monstrosity can't be blocked if I own a card in exile. Not bad in Disturb kind of decks, but is it good with my zombie deck? Or do I want a Grisly Ritual? Yeah, I like to destroy. It's removal. It's not premium removal, but it's still good enough. Don't know how helpful that blood token's gonna be, but it's going to get rid of a big creature in the late game. Blood Hypnotist. Ugh. Looks like red is wide open here, and I should have been taking it. Ragged Recluse. If I discarded a card, I can transform it. I feel like that's better in a black-red kind of a deck. What else have I got here? Cruel Witness. Cast a non-creature spell. Well, the Stitched Assistant is another exploit card. I turned one of those down earlier. I've got sort of all the zombies. Is there even a zombie lord in this set? I don't remember. Oh yeah, there's Geralf who makes all your zombies fly. Oh, wouldn't it be great to pick him in pack 2 or pack 3? He'll probably be snatched right up though, so not likely to be past Geralf. Chill of the Grave. Well, there's a zombie synergy. Tap target creature, cheaper if I have a zombie. Doesn't untap. Draw a card. Yeah, Chill of the Grave is the ticket here. Definitely getting a lot of cards that go in the zombie blue-black archetype. So this will be a fun deck. I could be doing worse here. I don't feel too bad about the luck here, although I keep seeing these red uncommons being passed to me. Ballista Watcher. So, target player loses 2 life and you gain 2 life, create 2 blood tokens. That seems decent. Oh, but I've got another Stitched Assistant here. I'm not really doing the blood token synergy. That's probably not that great an effect, but creating 2 blood tokens is pretty cool. I don't think I'm going to be looking for any kind of blood token synergy, though. Well, do I want the Doomed Dissenter or do I want the Entomber? I think I want the Entomber. Although, discarding a creature card to draw a card, that's kind of far-fetched, but hey, if I've got a useless zombie I want to discard. Another Stitched Assistant. Or do I want a little bit of draw? Now I've got 3 Stitched Assistant. Is that too many? I like this bounce spell at Alchemist Retrieval. I was hoping for a bounce spell of some kind. Oh, and enchantments matter. I'm going to just take the Voltaic Visionary for my collection here. Not going to go in the deck. Fear of Death is in my colors. Do I want it though? Mills? That's for the self-mill archetype. Nobody wanted Blood Hypnot. Oh, here's Inspired Idea. Cool. I can draw 3 cards. It would be an interesting constraint to have my hand size reduced to 3 for the rest of the game. I mean, that's not such a bad thing. You just got to make sure to keep it below 3. Wedding Security. Sacrifice a blood token, put a counter, draw a card. I guess Persistent Specimen for exploiting. I'll be able to just exploit and bring it back. Is that really the play here, or do I take this from my collection? I'm just really leaning into the archetype here. Olivia's Attendance. There's a cool rare. Do I see anything that I really want? I think I can get away with making a pick for the collection here. Olivia's Attendance. That brings me closer to my red-black zombie deck of my dreams in Historic Brawl and in Standard. try to make the most of my collection and play around and try and make decks in lots of different styles, lots of different archetypes. It definitely enables you to do that the way you get all these packs. And oh, here's a wizard. I think that's the pick here. When you cast a non-creature spell, you create a spirit. Well, I don't have a whole lot of non-creature spells, but I got a few. Do I want another persistent specimen? Ask yourself, who is the persistent specimen in your life? Yeah, I'll want a lot of those so that I can exploit a lot of things. This deck's gonna be kooky. I've got the synergy going. Now this is not a self-mill deck, this is not an enchantments matter deck. I don't know if I'm going to have a lot of cards in my graveyard. That would maybe go in the green-black mill yourself kind of deck. Is that the way it works in this set? I forget. Oh, what do we have here? A Skull Skaab. Whenever a creature you control exploits a non-token creature, create a zombie. So this is my exploit payoff, and that's where it really pays off that I've been investing in all these exploit creatures. Now here's a zombie beast. Markov Waltzer would be cool for a Boros zombie deck of all things. When Diregraph Scavenger enters the battlefield, exile up to one target creature from a graveyard. If it's a creature, each opponent loses 2 life and you gain 2 life. Well, there's a zombie dude. Winged Portent. Oh, draw a card for each creature you control. That's already going to be decent. I don't control a lot of flyers, but I mean, I want this card for the collection. It's the rare that you get from the draft. And I didn't see anything else that really looked like it suited it. Now leave me a comment if you think I should play all 3 of these persistent specimens. I do have a lot of exploiting to do. Steelclad Spirit is the pick here, but I will not play it. My dogs are all wet today from playing in the rain. Counter spell. I mean, in a deck where instants and sorceries kind of matter, if I want to play with that synergy. I don't think I want to play Vampire's Kiss. I think I want to just lean into the exploit synergy, play lots of creatures. I've got good stuff for the low end of the curve here with 3 persistent specimens who I'll be happy to have to exploit or to chump. Oh, the Alluring Suitor. I'm always gonna hum that George Michael song to myself. The way I danced with you. Okay, well that would be the collection pick. Whispering Wizard I already got one of, but is probably the smart pick. Am I going to play 2 of him? He has a 4-drop. Create a white spirit creature token with flying. It's only a 1/1. He's only a 3/2. I'm going to go with the collection pick here, because you're going to watch me have all kinds of fun, and it's worth it. It's an investment for the video series. Oh, and speaking of collection picks, oops! I didn't mean to double click. Darn it. Well, I'm happy to have an Edgar for my collection, because that's really the, he's the groom in the Vampire Wedding, right? He's the charmed groom in the Vampire Wedding, and I am so charmed by this card. I almost want to splash in white to play with it. But he's a Vampires Matter guy. Guess you could make yourself a pretty fun white, red, black vampires deck. Need to start making cuts here. So that's a couple of cool things for the collection. Some of the bomb rares. Wedding Invitation. Oh, vampire stuff. Edgar's Awakening. I will be exploiting a lot, so do I want another Diver Scab or do I want Edgar's Awakening? Return a creature from your graveyard to your battlefield. You can do it when you're discarding it. Or do I get another Diagraph Scavenger? Do I just stay on point? Stay zombie? Huh. That's so expensive. And I don't have a way to discard things. I'm not a vampire deck. Scattered Thoughts, look at the top 4. 2 into your hand. Oh, well, maybe I should have gotten the uncommon zombie there. Cruel Witness. Blood-Crazed Socialite. Undying Malice. That's a good trick. Oops, I was trying to hit Alt there. Twin Blade Geist for the collection. Blood-Crazed Socialite for the collection. I think I've done Undying Malice, so I have one trick, another instant. Got a lot of non-creature spells matter kind of stuff. Oh, another Skull Skaab. That's great. Lunar Rejection is bounce a werewolf. Or you gotta spend 4. It's bounce and draw. I want the Skull Skaab. I now have 2 exploit payoffs. Eruth Tormented Prophet I want for my collection, and I am super excited to have drawn her in my first draft. So that I'm not gonna bother trying to splash her in. I mean, gosh, I almost want to try that. Syncopate's a nice counter spell. I think that belongs in the deck. No longer so sure about Grisly Ritual, although it is like my only removal spell. I think I want to just focus on the synergy here. A little bit of casting a non-creature spell synergy. I'm not likely to control those things. Do I just want another Alluring Suitor for the collection? Bloody Betrayal, I've already got a couple. Yeah, Alluring Suitor is the collection pick. Geistlight Snare, I don't think that was going to find a way into my deck. Serpentine Ambush, though, that might. Although Arm the Cathars is a better collection pick. I'll go Arm the Cathars. I've already got combat tricks. Oh, the Gluttonous Guest. Oh wait, do I want an Honored Heirloom? That, I could justify splashing some things in if I got that. I don't think I will, but let's leave it there just for the potential. We're at the end of pick 3. Scattered Thoughts, top 4, put 2. I've already got a place at a point of discussion. Aim for the head. I mean, it's going to be real good if I play against a zombie deck. But you know what? Why don't I just keep to my zombie synergies here? I only need to make one cut. Save a creature, and I can save a creature that I'm sacrificing. Do I want to keep the Whispering Wizard? I do have a decent amount of non-creature spells. Do I want to keep Chill of the Grave, tap somebody down? Binding Geist, I like the way they will make my opponents weaker. That's gonna discourage blocks. I don't think I like the Selhoff and Tumor, but he's very sacrificable and he's a good blocker. Do I want this counterspell? I want counterspells. Well, leave a comment if you have an idea about what the last card I should cut is. You know what? I think the last card I should cut is actually the island. Because I don't have many expensive spells here. I don't have any 6 drops. I've only got the one 5 drop. I've only got 4 4 drops. So this is a pretty low casting cost aggro sort of a deck. I'm going to call it a deck here. Because I'm excited to move on and play my first draft, episode 3, draft 1. The sealed deck went really poorly. I wish that I had made a red-black out of it now that I realize it was a mistake to play Kaya. I might have won a game or 2. This deck I feel a little bit better about because I got the 2 signpost uncommon, was it Skull Skaab, the blue-black zombie payoff. Or the zombie exploit payoff, that is. So hopefully I'm going to be generating a lot of value by using those exploit synergies. Not the best draw. I wonder if I should have... I probably shouldn't have kept Winged Portent in the deck. That's feeling like a brick in my hand right now, isn't it? And they're coming out fast. My Stitched Assistant won't have anybody to exploit. Howling Moon. I don't like that. Well, at least I'll get the Diregraph Scavenger out. Do I want to use the Stitched Assistant or do I want to counter their next spell? Target a creature or planeswalker spell. I think it's likely to be a creature spell coming up, so I'm going to just... You know, there's going to be a wolf coming, a 4-drop wolf, and I'm going to counter it. And they're going to howl at the moon. No, the moon itself is howling. Oh, my gamble paid off. That is a spell you're happy to counter. And now I got a blood token, which I can use to do some rummaging. Oh, and I can exile a card from a graveyard, like the Hookhand Mariner that I just countered into the graveyard. Very happy about how that exchange went down. Oh, and they've got the Pack Song Pup. They wish they had more wolves. Oh, but now we're going to have some, Pack Song synergies there. Oh, that guy's gnarly enough in the daytime. Wait until it becomes nighttime. Hold up for the Undying Malice. Chump block that guy. Okay, so I'm going to exploit my Diregraph Scavenger, and it's going to return. Oh, but my second spell is bad news. Now it's going to return with a +1/+1 counter. I think I'll just submit 0 here. That's going to be helpful. And then, I think I'll use this. I'll discard a Swamp. Oh no, do I want to discard a Winged Portent? And I'll just see what I get. Yeah, there goes the brick. My Repository Scab. Return an instant or sorcery from my graveyard to my hand, so I can get the Siphon Essence. Oh, can't block. Oof. I don't think this game is going to go my way. So I'll pay this for the cleave cost. I'll return Pack Song Pup. And then I'll do Scattered Thoughts and just pray that something great is going to come out. Good game. I think I'm just going to scoop. As I know I've lost. Nice job, hey Murph. Well, that's my first loss in the draft format here in Crimson Vow. I'm sure the first of many glorious losses. Noble and honorable defeats where I get taught. And I learn more about how the format works, and maybe I want to choose to play those cards that are working well against me instead of the cards that I'm failing to put together right. I'm not sure if I've built my deck a little bit better. I would have won that game, though. Leave me a comment if you have any ideas. Now, 2 Skull Skaabs. Get those exploit payoffs going. That's a fun start. Oh, do I want to just go ahead and sack itself, make a zombie token? No, that's probably not the right play. I probably wanted to have both of those guys out. Wait, oh, that doesn't work? What are we even doing here? Oops. I thought he was going to exploit that guy and make a token out of itself. Well, now I feel really dumb. Now I feel really silly. Well, I'm going to exile my own guy. No point in attacking. Oh, that nerfs that guy. At least he's... Oh, his death touch isn't going to work anymore. Oh, I feel so bad. I should not have made those silly mistakes with my Skull Skaabs. Now would be a good time to draw 3 cards, but I think I'll actually wait. I'll play the Stitched Assistant. It's going to exploit the Diregraph Scavenger. Yeah, Binding Guys feels good right now. I could have an army of Skaabs and tokens going right now, and I was just silly. Well, hopefully I can come back from it with my inspired idea for the cleave cost. Gonna drain me, huh? No attacks yet. A little bit of a board stall. Is that what you call it? I can play Inspired Idea for cheap now because I don't have enough cards that I'm going to worry about having a maximum hand size of 4. Should I be playing the new Bat Pet just to show off my nifty new stuff? Should I play with the new Crimson Vow sleeve? Leave me a comment if you think I should. Now, Persistent Specimen I can just bring back. Leave a comment if you want to share about the Persistent Specimen in your life. Oh, I can't play the Stitched Assistant this turn. Not worth sacrificing a zombie token to attack and get, well, 3 damage across. Oh, no, I'd lose the zombie too. I need to make more zombie tokens go wide, but they're just sitting there sucking down that blood. Gluttonous Guest might be fun in one of those life gain and life drain kind of decks, like a Dina deck. Or my Teysa Karlov. Well, let me see. If I get rid of the Kindly Ancestor, I can do a good attack. And it doesn't have an ETB. Well, I can finally start attacking. Hopefully I can turn this around. I would have a couple of more zombie tokens if I hadn't made those dumb mistakes at the beginning. How long until you're decking yourself? You got 21 cards. So I'm just going to play the Stitched Assistant here, exploit my persistent guy. Don't need a swamp right now. I'm doing okay for mana. Don't want to attack with Binding Geist just yet because they can block and kill him. How much life are you gonna gain, my friend? I see they got the rare Deathcap Glade. That's how they can splash in green to this otherwise black and white deck. Oh, and they got the Shattered Sanctum. They got a couple of double lands. I usually don't have the guts to play 3 colors. We got a Twin Blade Geist. Oh, now it's a Twin Blade Invocation, so now you have double strike. Okay, so my Persistent Specimen should come back. Is Inspired Idea an instant? It's not, it's a sorcery. So draw 3 cards and I'd have to discard something. Or I can hold up the Siphon Essence. Why don't I hold up the Siphon Essence? I'll just attack with these 7 attackers. Oh, they're double striking my Stitched Assistant. Oops, I should have attacked with all of my guys. And I'm holding up a counter creature or planeswalker spell. Wouldn't it be funny if they had a planeswalker? They just top deck Sorin the Mirthless and I counter it. Oh yeah, that's the one you want to counter. Good game. Yeah, and they just and they just scooped. Well, there's a win. Even after I made those silly mistakes with my scabs, my skull scabs that I'll never make again, I was still able to use the exploit value engine to my advantage. I got too impatient there and just, oh, silly twitches. Sometimes you make some bad mistakes, and that's why I'm documenting it all, so that you can laugh at me and make comments about all my mistakes. MTG Greybeard is documenting his whole learning experience, and that includes getting taught. So this looks like a keeper. I got a Geist and a Stitched Assistant that I'll be able to play. Geist has Disturb, so wouldn't be the worst thing to exploit, although I think I'd rather just be attacking with it. A couple of Stitched Assistant, they can exploit each other. I could counter a spell here. Counter target spell unless its controller pays 1. X would equal 1 here. Are you going to play a 2-drop for me to counter with Syncopate? Exile it instead of putting it into its owner's graveyard. Syncopate is a real blast from the past. Reminds me of the old school spell Power Sync, but it's strictly better than Power Sync. It's a Power Sync that exiles the spell it counters, so you can't flashback it out of the grave. Yeah, let's Syncopate that Griff Rider. I don't want him training up. X equals 1. And the Griff Rider is done. Now I will play my Binding Geist. Undying Malice will get a creature saved when I exploit. Hopefully I draw a land. Nope. No, I think I'll just play him without exploiting anybody, or you know what? Let's next to combat. Let's attack. I've got a feeling their next spell is going to be a creature spell. I'm going to make that bet. Nope. I was wrong. Exile it until the circle leaves the battlefield. I don't think I have any way of dealing with enchantments. Well, that's a shame. Not going to exile the Syncopate. I'd like to get that back. I wonder why they're holding up. Okay, first of all to combat. Okay, now I play the Diregraph Scavenger, and I'll be able to Malice and Exploit. That's a combo. I'll be able to Malice to save one of these guys. Wish I had saved my counterspell for him. You want to trade? I had to look for the one with the blue text there to make sure I had it right. Still no creatures in the graveyards. Oh, and it was blinked, wasn't it? So I got the ETB again, but no creatures in graveyards, no opponents' instants or sorceries to cancel. Well, here's a guy who I can't trade for. With all my creatures, but I could trade either of them. I really hope they're about to play a big creature on their turn, because I'm holding up a Siphon Essence. Taking a big risk here, and I got a big card. Now I'm going to hold up. I'm going to counter their big creature. Oh, they've got a big artifact instead. I don't think you're winning that race, though, pal. So I can do Inspired Idea for cheap here. I'm going to cast it without the cleave cost. Now my maximum hand size is just 4. But I can play Chill of the Grave. Tap you down. I can play Persistent Specimen. And I can play Skull Skaab and make a zombie token. Then I'll attack, and you're not going to untap. I'm going pretty wide, so I'm feeling optimistic I can deal that 2 damage. They can cast something and move their spiky Ripsaw over, but then that's all they'll be able to do. Good game. I'll be surprised. Do they have that white board wipe? That white board wipe would do it. It's the only thing I can see saving them right now, is if they have, what was it, the by invitation only, which sounds like the name of a James Bond movie to me. They're thinking hard. They've got a Circle of Confinement holding down my Binding Geist. They got a Heron of Hope that they could gain lifelink like 3 times. They've got a Spiked Ripsaw. But I'm going to hit them with a zombie, a Skull Skaab, and a couple of Stitched Assistants. Win number 2 for the blue-black zombie exploit theme deck. Let's just see if they can handle me all attacking here. Is there anything you can do? I've got some shenanigans I can pull with the Repository Scab, if not. You're taking lots of damage here, buddy. Oh. Oh, you can scry 1. Do you have an instant speed fog that you just... oh, scrying isn't going to draw you anything. You block my guy, he'll die to the wrist. What are you smoking? What are you smoking? You don't even have the mana to activate him. I don't want to be a jerk and say your go here, but I mean, seriously, what are we waiting for here, pal? Your go. Do you have the move that's going to save you? It should be obvious. Thank you for watching the MTG Greybeard, where you can watch me rant about salty, unsportsmanlike behavior from players like Guns for Hire. I mean, if you got a move, make a move, but you should have been able to figure out what your options were by now. And this is a waste of my time and yours, Pally. Well, my second win. I'm very happy about that. Wouldn't it be cool if in my first draft I was able to go 7 wins? Didn't make any gigantic mistakes in this game, but do leave me a comment if you saw me making any mistakes or misplays or non-optimal plays, or if there's any, principles or reasoning behind your thoughts on the moves I'm making. Please do leave me a comment. I've already gotten some great tips from people who were appalled at my draft choices in the past, and I welcome comments about my draft choices, about my deck building choices, and about any choices I make during play. Even if they want to flash in a creature here. I had the Siphon Essence to counter it. Here I am in gold tier 2 for limited. I made it to the diamond tier in limited last play session. I got 90 days. We'll see how it goes. I would love to be able to hold my own in that arena open. So I got 2 wins, only 1 loss. Can still lose another. My next opponent is ready. That stained glass is shattering. Always such a bummer. That would definitely increase the budget of your zombie movie if you were to be breaking a bunch of shattered glass. Leave a comment if you've got any good party crashing stories, especially if you have crashed a wedding. Especially if you have crashed a wedding by crashing through stained glass. I want to hear your stories. Now, Skull Skaab can exploit persistent specimen. It's like Dr. Specimen from 30 Rock. And then we can keep bringing it back. I guess Binding Geist here? And then all attack. Whenever you cast an enchantment spell, you gain 2 life. They don't have any anything to enable the Dawnheart to hurt me. They're not getting any lifelink out of it, so I believe that was the correct play. Get 2 damage across early, although I can't block their Geist if they decide to get a damage across. So we've got a Verdurn Enchantress on our hands, the Dawnheart Geist. I was expecting it to be a white-black deck. That turns out to be a Boros deck, huh? Well, Chill of the Grave feels like a smart play right here. It's going to be 1 less to cast if I control a zombie, which I do. I can tap down the Kindly Ancestor. And then next to combat, all attack. And your creature is going to get -2, -0. And that's all I'm going to do. Your Kindly Ancestor will be tapped down for another turn. Oh, but we got another Kindly Ancestor. That's going to stall out the board a little bit. I guess I'll just bring out the Persistent Spaceman. And do I attack with only Binding Geist? Or do I attack with all of them? So the lifelinker isn't doing any damage. And little do they know, Oh, they're not going to try and kill Binding Geist? Well, I guess... Let's do that 2 damage. Sweet, sweet 2 damage. Didn't have to play my trick. They lose their Kindly Ancestor. Oh, because they want to disturb it and put the lifelink aura onto their Dawnheart guy? I don't get it. That doesn't make sense. So they gain 1 life? Oh, and they gain 2 life from the enchantment spell. Nice. Are you going to attack or are you going to hold up? I think the play here is to attack and gain some life, but I don't know if you're winning that race. Oh, well, you gain a lot of life with that Geist. I really wish I had more removal in this deck. Is this going to be my second loss? Well, I can keep drawing cards and sacrificing the Persistent Spaceman to the Stitched Assistant, right? Persistent Spaceman versus Stitched Assistant. Not trying to waste your time here. Okay, Swamp Stitch. Ooh, another Spaceman? No, because I'm not doing that much stitching. And then I'll bring another Spaceman back. Who comes back tapped. Is that a lifelinker? So I guess I make the life-linking guy non-lethal. So I can bring back Binding Geist to make one of their life-linkers ineffective. They've already gained life back to 16. But I've got a squad here. My Skull Skaab is doing some work. So hopefully the value I'm getting from the Skull Skaab is going to help me go wide enough to overcome their life gain shenanigans. Binding Geist is going to nullify the lifelinker. Okay, so let's bind you. Nullify your lifelink. And then, let's do Undying Malice on the Stitched Assistant. And then I'm going to cast Graph Reaver. Sacrifice the Stitched Assistant. Sacrifice the Persistent Spaceman. Make zombies draw cards. I don't control any creatures of flying. Oh, but what happened there? I thought the Persistent Spaceman was gonna come back. I guess I'll play the Entomber. I think I misunderstood what I was doing there. I'm gonna do no attacks. I did the Graph Reaver exploited the Stitched Assistant, and it came back, and then it exploited the skeleton. Yeah, I did everything right there, and now I've got a whole army of zombies. Who did I destroy with Graf Reaver, though? It exploited a creature. Why didn't I destroy target Planeswalker? Did I mess that up? I didn't destroy any of their stuff, and it exploited a thing. What happened there? Let's do a Persistent Spaceman. Leave me a comment if you can explain why my Graf Reaver didn't get to destroy something. I don't want to discard this guy and draw a card. He's pretty good. I don't want to just lose a bunch of zombies here, but I guess I would only lose 2. No, it's not worth it. I'm just not going to attack just yet. Diver Scab, do I want to just exploit the Entomber? Or, oh no, I can play them both. I can play both the Spaceman and the Diver Scab. Oh, he's got haste. Oof. Are you gonna do a combat? Oh, and are you going to attack with exactly 2 with the Alluring Dancer, the Suitor? Oh, and you're transforming into a vampire with Trample? Oh yeah, and you're adding 2, and then you're going to spend that to pump them both up. Do I just block with a Stitched Assistant? You're just going to give him +1. Yeah, it's worth it to knock that guy out. Doesn't have first strike or anything. I'm going to trample on me, but, Alright, so we're holding up the mana for Diver Scab. I really wish my Skull Skaab didn't die. So you're losing your very enchanted Kindly Ancestor. Now do I attack? I'm getting impatient here. If I attack, I'll do up to 8, 11, 15, 16 damage. But I'm at 9. And they got flyers. Let's just see what happens when I just press the attack. They're going to take 7. We kind of trade creatures a bit. Gain a little life. But I'm still pretty wide here. Interesting game. I fear it may be my second loss. Oh, right, and the Heron of Hope can gain lifelink. That dude is dealing damage to me. Well, here's a Scattered Thoughts and Desperation here. Cast this for the cleave cost. Do the Kindly Ancestor. Play the Persistent Spaceman. I'll just attack with everything for fun here. I'm gonna have to mute the microphone for my humiliating defeat. Should have held up that syncopate, shouldn't I? Well, thanks for watching. I'm going to take a break and you can come back for the next episode.